Hello, welcome back to the Chop It Up podcast. Thank you for coming. I'm your host today. I'm Brianna. Please follow the podcast on Instagram, follow us on Afrimerican Academy on YouTube, and keep a lookout because we're going to be on Spotify. Now, and today we'll be talking about a really a really amazing woman and a really amazing topic. We're talking about swimming access gaps in communities of color. And Miss Man, we have Benadette Manning with us. Miss Manning, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Brianna. Thank you for having me. My name is Benadette Manning, and I'm the founder of a brand new nonprofit called Swim Freedom here in the Boston area.
Okay, we can get started. I'm really excited for this episode. I know I have a lot of history in my mind about this, so we can just get started with question one.
Good, good. Um, do you want somebody gonna read the question? Or should I read the question?
Yeah, I got it. I got you. Can you share with us the journey that led you to establish Swim Freedom and what motivated you to address swimming accessibility within the Black community?
Yeah, but before I do that, I just want to mention that anyone listening can write to our email for the resources that I mentioned in this podcast. I mentioned a lot of resources, a lot of statistics, and I don't want people scrambling to write it down. If you email me, I will send you all the resources. And the email is swimfreedom54 at gmail.com. Swimfreedom54 at gmail.com. So to answer your question, Brianna, um, I think this started a few years ago with the evening news. I noticed that there was lot of reporting about drowning deaths, especially during the summer. And that really bothered me. It happens so often. After sometimes when you hear things on the news, you can kind of, frankly, sometimes you forget about it. But I never forgot about any of the deaths that I would hear about. And I thought to myself, this is not necessary. This is something that maybe I could do something about it. So, for example, last summer, I don't know if people know, but our former President Obama, he has a chef, his chef, Tarif Campbell, 45 years old. He drowned in Martha's Vineyard.
Wow.
He was last seen paddleboarding in August. He was a father of twin boys, and he was not wearing a life jacket. So, but over the years, I would hear these stories, and I couldn't forget them. So, this is just one of the things that made me want to start this nonprofit. I just want to mention that our mission is to significantly reduce the number of people drowned in the United States every year, which is approximately 5,000 people. We will accomplish this mission by matching non-swimmers with local swim classes at existing pools. We'll teach all swimmers, whether you can swim or not, how to be water safe. And we also help swimmers. We hope to be helpful to swimmers with their water anxiety.
I love that. I feel like you're the change you want to see. And you like created this. You were like, oh, no, it's like this. Every year you get so desensitized to the news,
Yeah.
everything that's going on, that you just take it in, you just take it back out, and you just become numb to it. But you turn like all that surface level, all that subconscious level, and you turned it into a nonprofit. Like, big ups to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Before you go on, I just want to, I'm going to take these little statistic breaks.
Mhm.
Here's a statistic that a lot of people don't know. Why the 54 in swim freedom? 54% of people in the United States cannot swim well enough to save themselves. And or they do not know water safety. That is a statistic from the Red Cross. Another statistic is drowning is fast and silent. It can happen in as little as 20 or 60 seconds. So on TV, we might see someone drowning, flailing, and that does happen, but it also happens very silently.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. Thank you. Next question. You You mentioned the tragic incident involving the officer Manning family as a catalyst for starting Swim Freedom. How did that event impact you personally, and how did it shape your vision for the organization?
Well, hearing about a police officer um, in the line of duty going to save two boys swimming in Worcester. I think this was about, it could have been year before last. Um, he drowned, one of the boys drowned. Um, he's a young, vibrant parent, husband, family man. He had young children. You see pictures of him, he's smiling. He's just a bright man, this police officer, dedicated to saving the lives of others. He's a public servant. I didn't know until this year that he was also a lifeguard.
Mm,
So he died in an effort to save someone drowning. That was upsetting to me because I'm thinking, how much, what else do you need to do to save people?
mhm,
You're a police officer, you're a lifeguard, and you're still drowning. Had those young men known how to swim, maybe they would have needed him. And I don't blame them. People don't know, and that's why that happens. So he was doing his job. He was trained to save lives, and the young man he was trying to save died as well. So this was a significant story for me.
mhm,
This wasn't someone who slipped into the water. This wasn't someone who maybe died in a tragic boat accident. You hear of those boat accidents.
right.
There was no alcohol involved in terms of the police officer. He was doing his job. And I thought, people like him, they need help.
Mhm,
People who are giving their lives to help other people. It's not okay for me to stand on the side and watch this happen. So I felt I've taken that his story very personally.
mhm.
Um, so here's a little information clip. As I promised, his family started a nonprofit in his honor. It's
Wow.
Yeah, it's called the 267foundation.org.
Mhm,
267foundation.org. I don't know what 267 stands for. That nonprofit supports police police around the country
mhm,
is saving people in water accidents,
mm,
saving people in drowning accidents. And they go around and they teach police officers how to be safe in a water situation. So that's very exciting for me that they did that. I appreciate that they did that. That's just in Worcester.
mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question for you personally. Do you think that if like swim and water education, water safety should be taught in schools more? Because I know like school all the time is academic, maybe have like PE gym, maybe do like a pacer test, but there isn't a lot of swim education. So I just wondered what is your take about on that?
Well, I think that everybody should have to take a water safety class. I'm a water safety ambassador,
Mhm,
which is I'm going to tell people how you can become one. It's so easy. It's shameful how easy it is. And if you can swim or you can't swim, there are things that people should know.
mhm,
Um, Here in Cambridge, I live in Cambridge. Every child is required, if you're in public school,
mhm,
required to know how to swim before they let you graduate. There's a reason for that. I don't know why. A lot of people don't know why that is, but it is a requirement that everybody who graduates from Cambridge Region Latin knows how to swim.
mhm,
It's also like that at MIT. If you graduate from MIT, you have to know how to swim.
mhm.
There are a few places,
Yeah,
country like
Howard does that too.
Howard does that too.
Yes, to
I
come.
didn't know that. I didn't
Yes, they
know
do
that.
it. It's a requirement to graduate the college. You must take a swim class, know how to swim.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that I feel so strongly about swimming that I think swimming is like reading. Like,
Mm,
you have to know how to read. You can learn how to read for free. Why
mhm,
can't you learn how to swim for free? Why can't it be more accessible for people?
right.
So that's my job, is to take this need and link it with the places where people can learn how to swim. But yes, I think that more places, more schools should require swimming.
Yes. On to question 3. As someone with a diverse range of interests and expertise, including mathematics, computer science, and beekeeping, how do you see these intersecting with your work in, in promoting swimming accessibility?
I think these questions are great. When I read that, I thought, how in the world does swim and computer science get with beekeeping? But there is a connection. Uh, I have to tell you what that is. So I always say this. I taught for 30 years as a public school teacher in the Boston public schools. And teaching and learning, sometimes we always say that in teaching and learning, teaching and learning. But you really have to say those two words together. Those activities go together. Teaching, because just because you're teaching doesn't mean someone's learning.
Mm,
So when you're a teacher, and when you're a teacher, you're also learning. So in the teaching profession, one learns how to plan, motivate, and think outside the box. We convey our passions to others. So my interests have a lot to do with necessity. Math and computer science and beekeeping are all areas that need more people of color getting involved with. And these areas are vital in terms that we all need to understand. For example, we know we need to understand math. We
mhm,
do. A lot of people would argue with me, but that's true. We do have to understand mathematics and computer science. Obviously, with this podcast, if it weren't for computer science and coding, this podcast and the way that you
yes,
all put all the pieces together could
mhm,
not happen without computer science. But beekeeping, how in the world is beekeeping? Well, I taught a course in beekeeping in my math class, and it turns out that bees are very the hexagonal prisms. It's very mathematical.
mhm.
Their prisms are hexagons for a mathematical reason. I won't go into that right now. But another thing is, um, and email me if anybody out there wants to know, because I can go on about bees. But the other thing is that bees are responsible for 1/3 of our food supply. Did you know that, Brianna?
No, not
One
at
third.
all.
If we didn't have bees, we wouldn't have apples. We wouldn't have cucumbers. We wouldn't have avocados. We wouldn't have almonds. We
Mhm,
wouldn't have watermelons. That I could go on and on and on. Bees are pollinators of these amazing fruits and vegetables, right? And so I think mostly fruits.
mhm.
So these are all necessity, right? Math, computer science, beekeeping, the relationship between beekeeping and mathematics.
Mhm.
Sorry, yes, and mathematics. So it turns out that I have a thing for that. I have a thing for sharing what I think is important with the world. So that's how swimming and swim freedom came into being as well. That's another. I can add that to my list. I think it's important for everyone to learn how to swim and or learn water safety. So
Mm,
so teaching and learning is the key to learning how to swim and water safety. There's a lot to learn about water.
mhm.
One thing, you want a little tidbit? I always tell people this. Here's
Yes.
a tidbit about water safety: never swim alone. A
Mm,
lot, and a lot of my friends, what I mean in a natural environment, in a lake
right,
or river. In fact, I would never get in a river because a river is very strong. The current
right.
can go away. But
Boy, yeah, man.
you know what I mean? You're like, um, even a good swimmer would have trouble with the lake and with the river.
Mhm,
And but like a natural environment, and I can talk about that later, being a triathlete, swimming in a pond or a lake. I know a lot of people who swim in lakes and ponds, and I tell them don't swim alone. I, at the least wear a buoy. I have a
right.
buoy that I wear. It floats on my back when I go to a natural environment.
Mhm,
Um, but really, people should not swim alone because anything could happen, and it could just and no one would see you. So that's
right.
one of my water safety tips. And here's a statistic. I'm going to share these statistics.
Mhm,
In swimming pools, there's a difference. Swimming pools, Black children aged 10 to 14 years old drown at rates 7.6
wow,
times higher than white children. So
wow.
this is uh this is important for our community to understand.
Mhm,
Uh, Black children and youth are more likely to drown in public pools. That's a scary thing because public schools pools always have lifeguards, but that is
mhm,
true. But white children also at risk. White children and youth are more likely to drown in residential pools. And residential pools typically do not have lifeguards.
Mhm.
So everybody needs to be careful, whether you're
Right,
white or black. Everybody should be careful.
right, right. Um, I like that. You're such like a holistic person. Like beekeeping, it just came out of left field, but it was great. All tied in. Oh, we got people from North Carolina watching. Hey, big ups, North Carolina. We got people from Hyde Park watching. Big ups, Hyde Park. Yes, yes. And hope one day soon we're gonna have people from every continent, every country watching. That's what I hope for. That's what I hope
Yeah.
for. On to question 4. What are some of the unique challenges you encountered in providing swimming classes for free to non-swimmers in the Black community, and how have you addressed them?
Well, the unique challenges that I experienced, I did not expect. One was not a great experience for me. At one pool, it wasn't in Boston. Boston has been really great, but I was trying to get a job teaching swimming.
Mhm,
The person in charge, once I explained my philosophy about free swimming lessons and water safety for all, he
mhm.
told me he no longer considered me for the job. He said, I don't think
What?
this is the right, yeah, it was really weird. He said, I don't think this is the right place for you. And I wasn't asking him to give free classes. What we
Right.
want to do at Swim Freedom is if we find someone who goes to a class and the class charges, we will
Mhm.
pay that fee. So we are not asking people to provide it for free unless they want to, but we're not asking them. I thought that maybe my delivery was too aggressive. And what I learned from that experience was that he was one person at one pool,
Mhm.
and not to get discouraged. And I also said I need to change my approach.
Mhm.
So now I changed my approach, and I've learned not to get insulted. But that's actually the only time that's really happened.
Mhm.
Um, other challenges. The other challenge that I've had is that many residents in Boston. Primarily work with Boston residents.
Mhm.
They don't know that there are two organizations in Boston trying to provide free swim lessons to adults and children, as well as providing free lifeguard training. And I don't
Mhm.
know if you all know, lifeguard training runs anywhere from $400 to $350 for a
Wow.
2-year certificate. And there's quite a bit of training to even pass the initial test. If you
Right.
don't pass the initial test, that happens the first day after you paid your $400, they will send you home and they will only refund you $100. It's they're not kidding. They want you to be ready for that test. That's what I'm getting ready for now, by the way.
Mhm.
So I have to do a lot of training on my own.
Right.
There are two organizations in Boston. Boston really cares whether people know how to swim or not.
Mhm.
Mayor Wu has provided 2 sets of funding, and there's 2 organizations. I work with those organizations. And they're very open to the work I do. And whenever we can collaborate, we do.
Mhm.
So they have the classes, and I try to find people to fit their classes.
Mm.
Um, so
What are those 2 organizations, by the way?
um, they are swimsafe.org,
Okay.
and they are bcyf
Mhm.
.org. And I always forget what it stands for. It's Boston Community Youth and Families Organization. There are
Okay.
21 pools in Boston that are run by BCYF.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, I worked for them this spring. It was a delight of mine. I really enjoyed it during the swim season. But I just want to say, not all large cities in the United States do this.
Mhm.
New York City does it, and Seattle. That's all I know of as a city. So
Wow.
Boston, New York, and Seattle. I forgot the name of it. But Seattle has a swim organizations for all the people in the town, and New York City is teaching all their second graders how to swim. Every
Okay.
second grader.
Wow.
So Boston doesn't do it through the schools yet. Hopefully, they will one day. But
Mhm.
they do offer swim lessons year round for Boston residents, totally free.
Oh, wow. I also wanted to talk about in like how do you say in like society, if I wanted to like if it was like a group of me and my girls, and I was like, "Hey, what do you want to do today?" Swimming is last on the list. Like it's never like it's like because of the history of it, like urban renewal, redlining. You're putting when they filled our pools or like threw acid in our pools, like it creates such a domino effect.
Yeah.
So like if you're gonna go swimming, it's gonna be at the beach. We're gonna take a little photo with our toes in the sand, and then we're gonna go right back on the sand, and we're just gonna lay there. Like swimming, it's like it's like culturally just not the thing to do. And right now, like programs like this are trying to reverse that, and I love that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That is true though. That is the last thing we think about. I don't know the last time I've gone to the beach with my girlfriends and frankly, if I go to the beach, I don't get in the water very aggressively. Like if it's the ocean, I don't get in the water very aggressively. I might go up to my knees
Mhm.
because um you can die.
Yeah.
And as a swim professional, I know that. So I've had some experience in ponds and lakes, and I can tell you about that later. And but yeah, people should be careful. There's riptides in the ocean,
Mhm.
but certainly pe- e- people, people of color, all kinds of people should feel comfortable enough to swim in a swimming pool,
Right.
especially if there's a lifeguard there.
Right.
Hopefully, we can get to that place.
Right. Um. Could you tell us about a particularly impactful success story or moment that you've experienced through Swim Freedom's efforts to match non swimmers with swimming classes?
I love these questions. I know I said this, but I really do. So this happened like a week ago. I went to my lifeguard training class on Saturday morning, and oh no, that's a different story. So this happened a week ago, about a
Mhm.
month ago. Um, Swim Freedom's first connection to a pool happened like a month ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yay! It's a woman,
Woo.
a friend of mine. She's a senior. She's a woman
Mhm.
of color. She didn't really want a swim class. She wanted water aerobics, but she couldn't
Mhm.
get the class because the same class kept filling up 5 minutes after the registration opened. And that's actually a very common story. She go in, bing, it's open. It's filled up. So after she told me about that, I investigated the problem. I looked at the website. I went to the pool where that happened. I told them what happened.
Mhm.
I talked to the registrar. They were very nice to me, and they told me how she can sign up.
Mhm.
Well, she didn't sign up for that class, but about a month later, in all my investigation, I'm always digging and looking for swim classes. I found a class for her, and I told her exactly how to get in. Um, it's funny, she had trouble with the registration. And by the way, she has a computer and she is a college professor, so she's a very educated woman. She had
Right.
trouble getting on the website. And I went back down there and I said, she's having trouble. This is not cool.
Right.
And they told me what she was doing, what she needed to do.
Mhm.
And I just want to say that some websites I found are difficult to maneuver when
Mhm.
people want a swim class. So I'm also letting people know in a nice way that they
Mhm.
need to help people make it easier to maneuver a website. Long story short, she got into the water aerobics class.
Mhm.
It starts next Monday. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh.
Oh, it starts tomorrow. Sorry.
Uh,
Sorry, it starts tomorrow. And
wow.
so excited for her. And this is what she said. She said, I'm one of those older black women who never learned how to swim. The
Mm.
longer I put it off, the more frightened I've become. I
Mm.
hope to take an aqua aerobics class as a way to get me into the pool. If this goes well, next stop, swim classes. Wish me luck.
Wow.
Yeah, I have chills thinking about that. I'm gonna go and cheer her on when she walks through the door tomorrow at the pool where she's going. Uh,
That's like, oh, that's
yeah,
so heartwarming. That's so like amazing. Like you went down there twice to make sure she got in.
yeah, that's what we do. That's our job.
Yes.
That's what I said. She said, "Oh, thank you, thank you." I said, "No, no, this is what I do. I
Right.
meet people with swim classes. You want a swim water aerobics class? That's a swim class to me."
Right.
Um, That's funny. I've known her for over 20 years. I didn't know that she didn't know how to swim. I didn't know she had water anxiety. She also told me that swim freedom has to address the problem of swim anxiety, and
Mm,
she's right. And some people have had scary experiences with water and avoid swimming, and
mhm.
we have to help these people too.
Right.
So I thought money was just the only barrier, but anxiety is also a barrier. It could be registration for a class. Sometimes lack of information that prevents people from getting swim lessons, and swim freedom can help with that.
Yes.
Here's
Yes. So
yeah,
swim freedom is more than a mission. It's more like a family. Like it's a connection. Like
yes,
when you sometimes when for me when I reach out to like organizations, programs, I'd be like, if I email them, like I just know I'm not gonna hear for like another month.
right,
But
right,
but you guys like you get into it, you get to the root of the problem, and you get it solved. I
yeah,
love that. That's efficient. That's amazing. That's accessible to people.
yes, yes. And I'm actually looking for a class for another friend of mine. She wants water arthritis. There's
Mm,
a water arthritis class. I haven't been able to find one yet. I haven't not been able to find it. And I said to her, sometimes these things take time, but
mhm,
I'm going to find this class for you.
mhm,
So it's important for people to know that we're working on their behalf
mhm,
and that they're not alone. Here's
mhm.
a statistic: 88% of child drownings occur with at least one adult present.
Wow.
That I
Wow.
was shocked when I read that. Yeah.
Wow. So almost all, like
Huh.
almost all of them occurred and an adult like either didn't have like the ability or the capacity to like help or in some way.
I think people just don't know how it can happen really quickly.
Right.
They might turn their head for a minute. Maybe they run in the house to get some more hamburger buns. Maybe they've gone to the bathroom. They turn their head for a minute, and something tragic can happen. And frankly, I really hate telling people all these statistics, but I think people should know.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another organization called it's here. I'll tell you later the name of it. They specialize in drowning, and they say that people always say, "I didn't know. I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that this could happen." So, um, I'm aware it's kind of a bummer saying all these statistics, but I decided to tell people because it'll really wake people up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We talked earlier about like being desensitized and like just hearing stuff, just seeing it, scrolling. The ability to just close your eyes is so real in this time, this generation. But the statistics really make me think like swimming is so back of mind for me or for my friends, but it like puts it at the front.
It
You
puts it at the front.
exactly.
Yes, it does. It
Yeah.
does.
Um Next, could you the underrepresentation of people of color in events like triathlons is a concerning issue you've highlighted. How do you believe increasing swimming proficiency in the Black community can help address this disparity?
First, I want to say, in case someone doesn't know what a triathlon is, I think a
Mhm,
lot of people do, but I want to say about 10 years, I think I started doing these events. It's generally a swim component, a half-mile swim in a natural body of water. It can be an ocean, lake, or pond.
mhm,
And then you jump out, you get out of the water and you run and you get on a bike. You're still wet and you ride your bike for 10 miles. And then you hop off your bike and you run for 3 miles. Sometimes there's hundreds of people in these events.
mhm,
Um, and while I would love to see more people of color at these really fun events, I came away from many of them thinking how expensive they are. They
mm,
want about $100, $200 for an individual to just go and do the thing. Um,
wow.
and I also thought it was elitist too.
Mhm,
Some bikes people were riding were like $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 bikes. I'm very proud that my bike was only $300. I love my bike.
mhm,
My racer Wetsuits can run at least $100.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people wear wetsuits when they're swimming.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I just want to say I don't participate in triathlons very much anymore. I don't run anymore. But if I did, I would only do one, and that's the Title IX event in Hopkinton in September. This is a women's triathlon, and I think they're a lot of fun. But getting back to your question, what I want to see are more people getting, rather than a triathlon, getting
Mm-hmm.
swim buddies, swim mentors,
Mm-hmm.
people using the water as a lifelong fitness experience and source of rehabilitation. I'm a senior, and when I'm in the water, I don't feel any pain or soreness.
Mm-hmm.
It's notable that swimming can be a career choice. Lifeguarding is not just for young people, and it pays a decent salary. I'm a Red Cross water safety instructor, and I've gotten paid to teach people how to swim. Some people have been in the water fitness field for 35 years. The guy that trains me on Saturday mornings, he's been in this field for 35 years.
Wow.
Learning how to swim well gets young people scholarships in college. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm really more after that and rehabilitation, using it as a way to get well, using it as, and of course, as a form of recreation.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like athletes should use swimming as part of their training. It's really good for your lung development. You have to really control your breathing. So here's a statistic I learned just yesterday. The top Division One swimmer, actually, I'm not sure. She's in Boston. She's a high school
Mm-hmm.
woman of color. She's a junior. Her name is, I hope it's okay. Don't get mad at me, but she was in the Boston Globe yesterday, okay? So I thought she probably doesn't mind. Her name is Zuri Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in Massachusetts. Have
Mm-hmm.
you ever heard of her, Brianna?
I think so. I think so.
She's bomb. She's bomb. She's really awesome.
Wow.
What she did, she is the top Division One swimmer in
Mm-hmm.
the area. She's a double winner at the Division One state championships.
Wow.
Ferguson took the top prize in the 100 backstroke and 100 freestyle. And that's four lengths, going down, back, going down, and back. The junior finished the 100 backstroke in 52 seconds.
That's crazy.
Backstroking, back, front, back, in 52 seconds.
Wow.
I was just so amazed. She has gained the All American status.
Wow.
Yeah.
So swimming is not just like a thing to do, a thing to learn. It's literally a career pathway.
Yeah.
Like she's probably gonna have a swimming scholarship to college.
Oh, yeah.
Probably definitely get like she's like ultimate supreme lifeguard. Like I would go in the water if she was the lifeguard, you know what I mean? So
Sorry. Hey, girl.
exactly. So that's what I love because at Afrimerican Academy, we're always thinking about, oh, this is like a concert, but you know what? You gotta have the person who's recording, the mic check, the roadies, the everything. And we're always not just examining the person, but examining the people that help them and the jobs that you can get.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. This is her ticket. I don't know her, but
Yeah,
I'm sure that people are already looking at her. It's very exciting. It's
right.
exciting. It's not a field where there's a lot of African Americans,
Hmm.
and there have been some before. There's African Americans who've gone to the Olympics. And
Yeah,
I hope that we see some this summer. But Zuri is from Massachusetts.
right.
That's pretty cool.
That is really, really cool.
That's right. I hope Zuri. I hope you're watching.
Yes, yes. Shout us out. I
Shout
chop it up.
us out.
What strategies does Swim Freedom employ to ensure that swimming classes are culturally inclusive and welcoming to individuals from diverse backgrounds?
Oh, so I was thinking about this question. I'm telling you. So some strategies, I think they're so organic to me. I didn't realize that I was using them. Um, so one of the first strategies I did was learn about swim organizations that cater to people with physical disabilities. As a water safety instructor, I've been trained to teach how to teach 5 different strokes, and it's a Red Cross course. It's quite rigorous. I was definitely the oldest person there, um, but teaching a person with a physical disability or teaching a person who's blind, I don't know how to do that. And so I made a connection with an organization that does that. I am so sorry I don't remember the name of them, but I'm going to put them on my resource list. And they've given me permission to send people their way. They are in Boston. As while we're building our website, a lot of the images were mostly people of color because I wanted people of color to feel comfortable connecting with us. I could tell people looking at the website. I want them to know we are welcoming to people of color, and members and advisors to the Swim Freedom Board of our nonprofit. There are mixed ethnicities. We have people who are not of color on the board, as well as people who are of color. One of the persons on our board has not learned how to swim yet. So we also welcome people who are still learning how to swim. Um, so that's some of the strategies we're employing. Also today, I just signed up for a course that will teach me how to swim people with emotional disabilities.
Wow.
I didn't know where to find that course, and I found it on the website of USAA Swimming. They're the governing body of all the professional swimmers. Um, so yes, that is something that it cannot be ignored. Everyone should feel comfortable because that's the problem, right? That's
Yeah.
been the problem over years. Not everybody feels comfortable. I have been made feel uncomfortable at pools in the last 3 years by a lifeguard there. So it can happen. It can happen even if you're a really good swimmer.
Right.
Um, but I also am looking for pictures of women who wear the complete swim outfits. They wear long sleeve shirts, they wear a total swim cap and leggings. And I want women like that to feel comfortable. So I'm letting you all know I'm looking for women, pictures like that to put on the website with full bathing suits so that they know they're welcome.
Right.
Um, yeah, and I also want to be clear that anyone of any race, ethnicity is welcome at Swim Freedom. And no matter what your circumstance, we will work hard to make swimming accessible to you.
Yes. I feel like for me personally, advertising is so important. If I'm listening to like a meditation or if I'm looking at a poster, if it has like a black girl on it, I'm gonna get it just because I can like you like see that somebody else is doing it, so you want to like have that. It's like a connection, you know?
Right,
Yeah.
right. No, right. That's true. So I got a story,
Mhm.
not a stat. Being mindful of time. So this is when I met a 12-year-old boy at the Flaherty pool. This was not this Saturday before last. I didn't get his name. I wouldn't tell you anyway, but I didn't get his name. But he really wanted to learn how to swim, and he had no swim trunks. And he looked so sad. He was even asking me, did I have a pair to give him? And I said, I don't. So I put it out on a local network here in my area. And I told people that this young man wanted to learn how to swim and that he needed some new swim trunks. And I really wanted to get him something nice because I could tell that he couldn't afford. They probably couldn't afford it himself. So a man that I knew came by my house and put a brand new pair in a bag on my front steps. I
Mhm.
gave him my address. He donated a new swim shirt and trunks to this boy. And last week I went back to the swim class to give it to the boy, but he wasn't there. And so I'm hoping. I told the people at the
Mhm.
swimming pool that I'm looking for this boy,
Mhm.
and I'm going to come back and give him these swim trunks and swim shirt. And I'm also trying to get in touch with his mom or his family, whoever the adult is in his family, and I can get him free swim lessons.
Wow.
And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want him to go through life and thinking, no, that lady wouldn't help me or the swimming pool wouldn't give me lessons because people do remember things. Like,
Mhm.
so what I learned was that another barrier to swimming is access to the proper clothing,
Mhm.
such as swim trunks, swimming suits, goggles, swim caps, even swimming shampoo and conditioner.
Mm-hmm.
It goes beyond the cost of lessons. If there is a cost, there are many other barriers, but
Definitely.
we're ready to take them on because these things
Definitely.
are fixable. The
Mm-hmm.
thing, this man that I never met
Mm-hmm.
he went out and bought this stuff, put it in a bag, and left it on my porch. I
Right.
saw him. I don't know where he lives. I know his first name. I have no idea who he is, and he's never seen me, but he wanted to help. So that tells me a lot.
Like there are people out there who care just as much as you. They just don't have the facilities to like get there, but you're giving them like the facilities.
Yeah, we can be the link, right? If he
Yeah.
wants to give something else, it'd be great. Or we can be the link. So
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. In your experience as a swim instructor, what are some common misconceptions or barriers that prevent Black individuals from learning how to swim? And how do you work to overcome them? I know you already mentioned like the extra costs you don't know, like swimming conditioner. Huh. I know for me, every time I swim, I look kind of hate it because I'm like, I
I
just
just
do
say,
my hair. Like my hair's dry. I have to wash, bathe, fast, go. It's a lot. It's a
it's
lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this. The most common misconception is that Black people cannot swim and that they sink. Yeah.
That one
Uh,
right there.
yeah. I do think that some Black people have that misconception as well as other people too. Um, I had a well-meaning friend tell me um, that I could be a sinker because I was having trouble with the lifeguard qualifier brick test. It's a very tough test to pass, and
Mhm.
I told her every time I carried the brick, I sank. And I was really surprised when she said that because I don't think I'm a sinker. And that friend actually, she's a friend. I'm not
Mhm.
mad at her, but she said she actually thinks that some people are floaters and some people are sinkers. We are all floaters. I
Mhm.
want people to know, don't you think that you're a sinker, that we are all floaters. I'll tell you why. Because we have lungs and our lungs help us float.
Mhm.
That's just the that's just
The nature of things.
that's just a fact. And
Mhm.
now when I do my lifeguard training, I take in water into my lungs because I know that's going to keep me on top of the water as I hold my breath.
Mhm.
So I didn't say anything to her, but I knew better.
Mhm.
Another common misconception is that some people think they'll never learn how to swim, but that's not true either. I know a person who learned to swim as an adult. It's not too late to learn how to swim. Most of my swim improvement has come in the last 2 years. And every day I get in the pool, I improve. Every time I get in the pool, I
Mhm.
improve.
Mhm.
So, so how do you work to overcome these barriers? Get in the water. Get in the water with an instructor at least one day a week, and don't give up. I
Mhm.
promise you, you'll improve.
I love that. It's not even like Black people can't swim. That's a misconception people not only put onto us, but we put onto ourselves like as a mentality. And it really stops us from getting into the water. It stops us from like enjoying that form of like health and wellness. So that's really powerful.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I want to mention something about the misconception that Black women don't want to mess up their hair with chlorinated water.
Mhm.
The whole thing about water. I mean, it's not a misconception, but I think there's a lot of people still swim. So I've read that it's not true, but think of it this way. Every time I swim,
Mhm.
I wash and condition my hair.
Mhm.
I've had dreadlocks and now I have short hair.
Mhm.
By design, I decided to cut it. I've never experienced a loss of hair or messed up hair during swimming. In fact, I think my hair is stronger because I'm always conditioning my hair. Another way, let me see. Another thing to Another way to overcome any barrier that prevents Black individuals is to provide water safety instructions to groups of people. I would also say, especially males, but to groups of people, especially before the summer starts. Anyone can be a water safety ambassador through
Mhm.
an online course that is less than a half an hour on the Red Cross website, and it's free. And you get this little card that says you're a water safety ambassador and you can just go out, you can just go out and say, "Hey, you all, would you like to know a little bit about water safety?" And no one tells you no. Of course, people.
Wow.
Or you can get in touch with Safety, and we will do an online or in-person water safety class for you for free.
Mhm.
To you, for you for free.
Yes. Wow. It's really just 30 minutes online class, do it, done.
Yeah,
So I could really after this, I could really become just a whole ambassador.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go online. It's very enjoyable.
Mhm.
The Red Cross site is just amazing, the things they offer for free. The lifeguarding is not free, but
Mhm.
the water safety ambassador is a free course. And also, I took another course there called water safety for swim coaches because I was a swim coach
Mhm.
uh, this spring. So I took that. That was free. I thought, why not? So I did that.
Wow. So looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for swim freedom, both in the near future and in the long term?
I want to give you one more statistic. Then I'll answer your question because I
Mhm.
wrote it. All right. So after the age of 1 years old, nearly 80% of drowning deaths involve males due to increased exposure to water, risk-taking behaviors, and alcohol use.
Mhm.
So sometimes you'll even see this on TV, a bunch of guys, let's go to the pool. It's like, they're having a good time. They're swimming,
Mhm.
they're diving in head first. I always tell people during water safety classes, never dive into a pond head first
Mhm.
because you can't see what's in that pond.
Mhm.
You cannot see. One young man told me recently. He said you can break your neck that way. I never thought about that, but
Mhm.
you can hurt yourself. You don't know what's down there. Um, my son is a very good swimmer, and he dived off of a pier once, and he cut his foot. It was a pretty serious cut. I mean, you really have to be careful. And he got over it, and things got better. But you really have to be careful when you're in a natural environment. You're hosting around with your friends, you're having a great time, and you don't want it to end in a tragic day. So I have told people never swim alone. If you're gonna jump in a natural body of water, jump feet first. I would say don't do it at all, or hang your feet over to the side. Um, One time I was in a triathlon in Sharon, Mass. I think it was Lake Massapog, and I
Mhm.
was swimming. It was a great swim. But you know what? When I looked down, all I saw was a bunch of large concrete cement blocks. For some reason, I guess somebody dumped them in there. Imagine going in and swimming in there and hitting one of those blocks. So that's my statistic.
Mhm.
Let's answer your question.
Yes.
Okay, goals and aspirations for swim freedom, both near the future and in the long term. So right now, uh, we're still working on some of our legal paperwork. It really
Mhm.
takes time to become a nonprofit,
Mhm.
but it's coming any day now. We have some really great lawyers, pro bono lawyers working with us. It's really a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
In the meantime, we're trying to find small schools, um, preferably private schools, but we'll do it public schools as well.
Mhm.
And we want to find individuals who want swim lessons and willing to try our services this summer in 2024. So we're looking for small schools, 15 kids, maybe a whole school, individuals. It doesn't matter. It could be one or two people. That's a life saved, right? Uh,
Right.
which also working and trying to find some university pools. We're working with one large university right now. I can't mention their name. They are really interested in letting people use their pool for free
Mhm.
and provide all the swim lessons and provide the lifeguards.
Wow.
So we're looking to find some university pools to host us. Um, but we also know there are many spaces in Boston and Cambridge that we can access for free. So we're looking for more people who want swim lessons this summer. We're ready to get started. We want to be known as the go-to place where one goes to find swim classes, especially if you cannot find one, you're having trouble, if you can't afford it. Tell
Mhm.
us your problem. We'll help you.
Mhm.
Um, and we'll help you with a smile.
Right.
We'll work hard to find you a placement. In the long term, we're looking for more board members, more advisors, more advocates. I plan to start a coalition of swim organizations around the country so we can support each other and learn best practices. Um, our resources is ndpa.org. ndpa.org. I really love this organization. That stands for National Drowning Prevention Alliance. They have a lot of resources for individuals and groups to help prevent drowning. A ton of resources. I'm just overwhelmed when I go on this site and giddy. I probably go on their site every day trying to use some of their resources.
Mhm. Um, Slight sidebar. Can we hear about the job opportunities? We talked about a little bit about this before, but can we hear more about the job opportunities you've seen in swimming?
You know what? Today I read something. It was going really fast. It
Hmm.
said there are like 700 job opportunities in swimming. I'm
Wow.
sorry I didn't write down that. Actually, I'll probably put that on my. I thought I saw that and I was like, really? Well, I've met pool managers,
Hmm.
aquatic managers. These are full time jobs.
Hmm.
In Boston, there's a manager for every BCYF pool just in Boston. I've met two people that manage Swim Safe. They might have other people. These are full time jobs in the city of Boston. Of course, lifeguards. I know a ton of lifeguards now. They all get about $25 an hour. These are people in high school, some of them in college. Some of them do it just in the summer, on the weekends. They're always looking for lifeguards. Pool managers. Some people done this all their life. People
Hmm.
that want to major in recreation
Hmm.
are swimmers. Also, USAA Swimming. USAA Swimming. I contacted the diversity group with USAA Swimming, and they used to be swimmers in college, and now they work full time working with USAA Swimming, trying to get swimming to be more diverse. USAA Swimming is located in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and there's hundreds of people that work there.
Wow.
There's a lot of swim organizations. There's swim coaches. There's a lot of swim coaches. There's a lot of swim clubs. And that young lady, Ferguson,
Hmm.
swims at a club. There's a lot of swim clubs out there. So I don't know the number, but I'm going to add that to my resource list and add the resources. But I think that's amazing that you can work in the swim field.
Right.
And if you go on the MIT website, go on
Hmm.
their website sometime, go on aquatics, and it'll show you all the people. These
Wow.
There's like a half a dozen people, and there's a ton of them, people of color, who
Hmm.
work full time at MIT, and that's their profession, to work with the MIT, um, to work for the I think it's Ziegler Pool,
Hmm.
Cambridge Ziegler Pool, and they work for them full time. So it's and I just got into the swim space by becoming a water safety instructor. I just got that one certificate and people take me seriously.
Hmm.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 700 job opportunities. So really like it's not, and like can we make a connection that's not only like people of color, especially African Americans, have not only been disenfranchised out of swimming, but out disenfranchised out of another career opportunity. Yeah.
Yes, it's another career opportunity. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Finally, our last question. What advice would you give to others who are passionate about promoting swimming accessibility in marginalized communities based on your own experience with swim freedom?
Um, and I don't want to forget to answer that question about the last time I've gone for a swim. Should I do that now?
Yeah.
I swim every Wednesday, every Saturday morning, usually a Tuesday or Thursday. That's 3 times. Um, and I try to get in that fourth swim. In fact, I normally would be swimming now. But if I don't get a chance to swim, I try to go for a walk and I try to find some dry land activities. There's
Mhm.
a lot of dry land swimming exercises. Sometimes I don't feel like swimming. Let's just be honest. I want to get in my bed. I just, I want to watch a movie. But I'm training right now to be a lifeguard. I'm not going to become a lifeguard if I don't become proficient and if I don't get in the pool.
Mhm.
One other thing, if I want to promote swimming, I have to be a swimmer.
Mm.
I just do. I just have to be a swimmer. And I have to be around other swimmers. So right now I swim at two YMCAs. I belong to one. I swim at another YMCA. I swim at the Cambridge pool, and sometimes I swim at the Sudbury pool. There's another pool I can't remember that I swim at. I can't remember what's that other pool. But I swim at quite a few different pools during the week, and but I want to say, as soon as I jump in the water, I'm so glad I'm there,
Mm.
and I just jump in. I used to like put my little toe in because it's kind of like a sensory shock.
Yeah.
I just jump in. I push my goggles on my face and I just jump in.
Wow.
And as soon as I jump in and I'm pushing myself up to the surface, I think to myself, I'm so glad I'm here,
Mm.
and I'm so glad people see me there
Yes.
because I'm representing a lot of people. So to get to your answer your question,
Mhm.
um, but I would say if you learn how to swim, getting in the pool just once a week is enough.
Mhm.
Enough. And I used to swim just one day a week. So I have a lot of advice. And so there's so much to do, and there's so many ways to do it
Mhm.
in promoting swim accessibility. So, one, you can familiarize yourself with water safety facts
Mhm.
by joining the NDPA, National Drowning Prevention Alliance, for free. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of facts on my blog on the Swim Freedom website.
Mhm.
Again, they're kind of sad, but people do need to know.
Right.
Familiarize yourself with water. Sorry. Become a Red Cross swimming ambassador. Ambassador for water safety online through the Red Cross
Mhm.
website. It's less than an hour. It's a fun training. You
Mhm.
get your little card. You can go around showing people, and and it never expires. They put on there, it's like if you become a water safety instructor, it's
Mhm.
over 2 years. You have to keep re-upping. But if you become a water safety ambassador, it never expires. Get a friend or a group together and take swimming lessons together.
Mhm.
Join Swim Freedom by becoming a board member. We need an accountant. We need a marketing person. I mean, I really need help with um, social social media
Mhm.
exposure. Um, Let me see. If you become a Swim Freedom Water Safety Ambassador, you can give just 3 or 4. I will not pressure you. 3 or 4 short seminars to individuals in your neighborhood, at your
Mhm.
job. You could do a Zoom presentation and just
Mhm.
talk about being safe, telling people don't swim alone. These things will help people live,
Mhm.
and it's important. So those just some of my recommendations. It's really easy to get involved with swim safety because there's a lot of people out there who are working on this. It's not just me. There's a lot of people who care,
Right.
and they all have recommendations, and they all, other than that one guy, he was just an anomaly. Everybody else really cares about
Right.
this serious problem.
Oh, before we end, can we once again have a list of resources in Boston for swimmers who want to learn how to swim? For
Yeah.
future swimmers, I should say.
Yes. Um, One thing, you can always go to my website,
Mhm.
swimfreedom54.org. 54, you know what that's for.
Mhm.
That's a statistic. Swimsafe.org. You can go on their website. They actually do a lot. They do the same thing that I do. They connect people with pools, and they make sure it's free.
Mhm.
A lot of pools in Boston, and they're really nice people. And there's also bcyf.org, and they're the 21 pools in Boston. I would say there are a number of them right now that are getting renovated
Mhm.
because pools are very expensive.
Mhm.
But there are a number of them that are not. They're operating right now, and BCYF has a ton of courses this summer that they're offering for adults, for young people to swim. They also are continuing their swim team this summer. So they have a number of pools that swim against each other.
Mhm.
It's all for fun, and it's an entry into the competitive swimming space.
Mhm.
So that's bcyf.org, and that's swimsafe.org. And again, if you send me something to my website or to my email, which is swimfreedom54@gmail.com, I have a whole ton of resources that I will send you. Uh, that I'll send you, and so you don't have to worry about writing everything down.
All right. All right. Thank you so much. I just want to say you're such a passionate, genuine, just go getter type of person, lifelong educator, and you're educator in so many fields. It's so amazing. That's the that's the website. Look, it's just amazing work you're doing. And again, you're being the change you want to see. So I just want to
You.
say thank you. Please follow the Chop It Up podcast and please look up Miss Manning and her website, swimfreedom54.org. Look her up. Follow Chop It Up on Instagram and on YouTube at Afrimerican Academy. And please be on the lookout. We'll be on Spotify soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.
Thank you so much, Brianna. You are you're a great moderator. You made me feel so welcome. I was a little nervous, and I'm so glad to have met you in this way. And I hope to that we can speak again. I can't wait to follow my podcast too. Have a nice
Bye.
bye bye. Have a nice evening. Thank you.